Hey, what's going on, PlayStationShow.com? This is Pantera Down 2, and this is my entry for the Show Your Gaming Cock competition, contest, whatever. And I'm showing my collection. Here it is. I'm going to start off with the Super Nintendo games. You got Vegas Strike, Super Star Wars, Fatal Fury, Biometal, NBA Jam. Let's see, some of the other good ones are UN Squadron, Street Fighter 2, Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario Bros. All-Stars, Super R-Type, one of the greatest side-scrolling shooters ever. It was really good on the Super Nintendo. Star Fox, I wasn't a really big fan of that game, but I saw it at the store for real cheap, so I picked it up. The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Earth Defense Force, Prince of Persia, Super Mario World. So yeah, it's not an amazing Super Nintendo collection, but it's cool. One quick thing, I have the Super Scope here. My friend gave it to me. He didn't want it anymore, so he just threw it my way, and I was like, sure, I'll take it. And so that's the Super Scope. And this is the game, Super Scope 6, that you play this with. So yeah. Now on to the NES games. Some of the good ones are Ice Hockey, Monster Party, Excitebike, Super Mario Bros. 3, Mega Man 2, The Simpsons Bart vs. the World, Bart vs. the Super Mutants, Master Blaster, Brink, oh no, that's Narc, Double Dragon, let's see, one of the other, Donkey Kong Classic, that's really good, Duck Hunt, Simon's Quest, Castlevania 2, that's a terrible game, by the way, it's awful. Simon's Quest, Castlevania 2, Castlevania 1, right there. Yeah, Contra, Marble Madness, and Star Tropics. Those are all great games. RBI Baseball, great baseball game. Let's see, Demon's Sword is really good. Othello, Ninja Gaiden 2, Bayou Billy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This one here, the arcade game. This is really good. It's a good beat-em-up game, side-scrolling. It's a good one. Let's see, Bionic Commando, The Adventures of Link, and The Legend of Zelda, both in the gold cartridges. Excitebike again. I have doubles of that. I got Pac-Man here. You can't see it. It's in the black cartridge, but this is Pac-Man. WrestleMania, Wall Street Kid, Top Gun, Baseball, Tiger Heli, Tecmo Pro Bowling, Tecmo World Wrestling, Maniac Mansion, what's the other one? Pro Wrestling at the bottom there. So that's NES. Oh, and these are my two boxed NES games. SpongeBob knows all about this one. The T&C Surf Designs. This is a really cool side-scrolling extreme sports game. And then this is one of my favorite games. It's called Master Blaster. It's a side-scrolling shooter, top-down shooter. It's really cool. It has two really cool styles of game in it. I forgot to mention my Super Nintendo games that are in the boxes. NBA Jam Tournament Edition in the box, and Super Black Bass Fishing in the box. Okay, and we're just gonna keep turning here. There's my PS3 games. All right there. Some collector's editions that I like. My favorite collector's editions. I have Demon Souls. This is a really good one because it comes with the strategy guide there in the game. It's a very rare collector's edition this one is, because, you know, the game turned out to be so good, and they only made so many of those. It's really a limited edition. And then the Dark Souls limited edition, Dead Space 2 limited edition, and this is my Metal Gear Solid 3 or 4 box. It's a pretty cool box. It's very thick box. It opens like with this sideways cut, you know, at a diagonal. What goes in here is a game and a Blu-ray. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4, can't go wrong with that. So the PS3 games, you know, there's not like any major classics, you know, because they're still pretty new. I don't think a lot of these games have been defined as like genre defining or platform defining just yet. Some of them, maybe. The Demon's Souls games are pretty good, but I don't know. They haven't reached their peak yet in that console, so I don't know. Xbox, you got Fable 2. That game stinks. Alan Wake is kind of wishy-washy. Wants to be super scary, but it's a T for teen, so it can't really be. I found it's pretty neat, but it's not fantastic. I think this is pretty cool. It comes with Geometry Wars, Miss Pac-Man, and Luminous Live and all that. So I got that with the controller, but whatever. Xbox, whatever. Now onto the PS1 games. This is one that I found at the bookstore. It's a Japanese import of Street Fighter Alpha 3, I think. I don't know. I can't play it on anything. I don't have a Japanese PlayStation, but I bought it anyway. That's how stupid I am. Oh, you want to see the Guitar Hero Van Halen? Got this for free for getting Guitar Hero 5. There it is. Guitar Hero Van Halen. My Resident Evil, this is like one of my only PS2 games that I have right now. Resident Evil 4 in the steel case. I kept this one because, I don't know, it's pretty neat. It's a two-disc game with this photo cell of Ada, and it comes with 2 books, the game guide and a strategy guide here on the side here. So I decided to keep this because I think it's pretty neat. And probably one of my favorite parts of my collection are my, I'm going to turn off the light here, are my PS1 games. It's more glare. I got lots of them, probably well over 110 to 120, I'd estimate. It's really hard to see, like, all of them, but there's all the good ones, like all the Resident Evils, all the Twisted Metals, Diablo 1, there's a bunch. Yeah, so there's well over probably 100 here. Hope this looks better when I'm actually editing this. But there's lots of glare with the plastic. But you know, there's some Gran Turismo 2, one of my favorite Gran Turismo games, probably my favorite Gran Turismo game was Gran Turismo 2. Resident Evil 2, Alone in the Dark. I got this for like $5. It's normally $20. Metal Gear Solid VR Missions, really cool game. Metal Gear Solid Soul Reaver, or no, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. These are the couple I have that are still in their wrapping. Iron and Blood, I don't know. I found it at a store, I bought it anyway. Action Bass, still in its wrapping. Sort of just bought it for the hell of it. It was pretty cheap. Now, my favorite of my favorite collection. These are my PlayStation 1 are my favorite. But these are my favorite PlayStation 1 games, probably. Because these are the long boxes. Like Resident Evil 1. Great game. In the long box. Here, let me show you what it looks like in one of these cases. Because most people don't even know what these... Didn't even know these existed. Because they made these cases when PlayStation was brand new. And when I bought this game, somebody left their strategy guide in the case. I thought that was kind of cool. So there's all these pages of Resident Evil 1 strategy guide. So you had your manual over here, and you had all this artwork inside the case and behind the disc. These cases are very delicate because if you break these CD holders, you're not going to be able to replace it because this is part of it. So you just want to be very careful. Very, very careful with all this. Because this one's worth probably the most. So that's that. Resident Evil 1. And then I'll just go down here. Destruction Derby, High Octane, Viewpoint, Shockwave Assault, Loaded,